The time is 10 a.m. and this is WKYT Midmorning. A deadly crash has claimed a life in Scott County early today.
Police may have solved a rash of burglaries in Lexington.
And Tent City has arrived on the UK campus ahead of Big Blue Madness.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning and welcome in. It is Wednesday, September 28th. We're glad you're on Midmorning. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Barbara Bailey. Tent City is official now.
Yes.
It was already there to a degree when it wasn't supposed to be.
We were watching live this morning in our 5 a.m. newscast on WKYT, and all of a sudden, you know, it was on. They went across Avenue of Champions.
Hardy fans out there, but they're going to have to deal with some weather
We'll have
conditions.
to be a little hardy here and have those tents ready. We could have some potentially gusty showers today. Let's check in with Micah.
Yeah, we're already seeing a couple back toward the western zones. And as we spoke about this morning on WKYT this morning, we were talking about it how before noontime, 10, 11 a.m., you could have that small chance of rain central and northern Kentucky. And look what's going on. Exactly what we were talking about, 64 corridor and also 60 seeing even a couple of rumbles of thunder up towards, say, Henry County, about to flow into Frankfort and some Frankfort, especially the northern portion of Frankfort. But we saw bits and pieces. The bulk of the rain still comes later on today. I'll show you when that arrives coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, see you then.
First this mid-morning, one person is dead following an early morning accident. It happened in Scott County near Stamping Ground. A truck crashed on Wood Lake Road near Pea Ridge Road. That's close to the Franklin County line.
The coroner tells WKYT News that a truck carrying 3 people was traveling westbound on Wood Lake. As it approached a curve, the driver apparently lost control. The vehicle left the road and crashed through a fence. The male driver was pronounced dead at the scene. 2 female passengers were airlifted to the hospital with what are believed to be non-life-threatening injuries. Police say the same man could be behind more than a dozen burglaries and thefts in a Lexington neighborhood.
25-year-old Jared Dunaway is considered a person of interest in the case. The crimes happened in the Holiday Road area in the Fairway neighborhood. Police say televisions have been stolen from back porches and lawn equipment has been taken from garages. Police say Dunaway is also wanted on failure to appear, shoplifting, terroristic threatening, and burglary charges.
A Lexington couple says they are fed up after a rash of crimes in their neighborhood. Overnight, they say a group of teenagers threw a weed eater right through the window of their home on Kennesaw Drive. A homeowner gave us this surveillance video, which helped police catch the 3 teenage suspects. The owner says this is not the first time that something like this has happened. Police say the teens have been charged with criminal mischief and they've been turned over to their parents.
Frightening moments for a Lexington father this morning. He says a stranger climbed through a window and into his toddler's room. It happened just after 2 this morning on Dalton Court. Police say the father confronted the intruder, who said he was looking for someone. When he didn't find that person, police say the man walked out the front door. They have a vague description of the man and took a burglary report. Nicholasville police are looking for 2 men who they say robbed someone and offered to give them a ride. These are surveillance pictures of the men who were in the 5-Star gas station on South Main Street Monday night. Nicholasville police say the men asked a man for a ride. Once they were in his car, robbed him at gunpoint. During a struggle, the gun went off and a bullet landed in one of the seats.
You know, this situation, this guy was just doing somebody a favor, he thought, and look where he ended up. And so I hate to say that our society has become this, but you just have to be cautious in people who you pick up and who you think about giving a ride to.
Now, once caught, police say the suspects will likely face robbery and assault charges.
A prosecutor in the criminal case involving former University of Kentucky board chairman Billy Joe Miles says the alleged victim has received death threats. Miles pleaded not guilty this week to rape, sodomy, and bribing a witness. The Assistant State Attorney General, who is prosecuting the case, cites 9 occasions since Miles' indictment in which the alleged victim has been contacted or harassed. Those include death threats left on the alleged victim's car and someone throwing a hammer through her windshield while she was driving. An attorney for Miles has denied any involvement by Miles or his family. Human remains found in eastern Kentucky have now been sent to Frankfort for identification.
The remains were discovered in the community of Milo in Martin County. Police say they were found in the same area where Scotty Fannin disappeared last December. They suspect foul play in Fannon's disappearance. State police plan to be back at the scene today. Well, UK's Big Blue Madness is still a few weeks away, but fan madness began earlier this morning.
We want to show you some of that. About 4 hours ago, fans were officially allowed to start lining up for tickets, although a handful of people were seen camping out as early as Monday. Now they've been joined by hundreds more. Unlike in years past, fans are restricted to areas where they can camp out. UK has made the west side of Memorial Coliseum off limits because of ongoing campus construction. You can still expect much of Euclid Avenue, the Avenue of Champions portion, to be packed with campers until Friday night, when those tickets will be distributed at 10 o'clock.
We had a good game plan. We had some boxing out going on, so getting some lessons from Calipari.
Look at him trying to jostle for position there. Tickets will also be available online at Ticketmaster. That'll be Friday, 10 p.m. again if you can't make it out there. Big Blue Madness will be on October 14th at 7 p.m. and it will be airing live on the SEC network. And we're planning specials on our CW station, by the way, leading up to that.
And the campers do it year after year after year. Always love it. Well, one southeastern Kentucky town joined several others in the area by voting to allow alcohol sales. Pineville was already a moist town, allowing alcohol sales in certain restaurants. Yesterday, citizens voted in favor of allowing alcohol sales in the city, and in Jenkins and Warfield, voters also chose to allow alcohol sales.
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are back in campaign mode 6 weeks now until Election Day. Today, Clinton is campaigning with Bernie Sanders in New Hampshire for the second time ever, while Trump will be holding rallies in Illinois, Iowa, and Wisconsin. Both candidates are claiming victory after going head-to-head in that record-setting presidential debate on Monday in terms of the number of people who watched.
Amazing numbers.
It really was.
Yes.
Well, the world is mourning the loss of former Israeli President Shimon Peres.
The 93-year-old had been hospitalized since suffering a major stroke 2 weeks ago. President Obama extended his condolences to the late leader's family Tuesday night, describing him as a man who changed the course of human history and never gave up on peace in the Middle East. Well, a black man shot several times by officers in a San Diego suburb has died.
El Cajon police say the man did not have a gun, but pulled an object from his pocket and pointed it toward two officers. That's when one of the officers shot him. The other officer had been trying to take control of the man with a stun gun. The department has released a cell phone picture of the moment before the shooting. That shooting set off protests at the scene, alleging police racism. A suspicious package caused tense moments at the Charlotte police headquarters. Everything's back to normal now. That package was discovered late Monday night. Police evacuated much of the building and blocked off nearby streets. A robot was used to remove the package, and it was taken to a remote area to be further investigated. Police have not said what was inside the package. That discovery comes amid ongoing protests following the deadly police shooting of Keith Scott last week.
Wells Fargo says its CEO will forfeit millions of dollars in pay as the bank tries to stem a scandal over its sales practices. Wells Fargo's independent directors say CEO John Stumpf will forfeit $41 million in stock awards. Another company executive will also forfeit $19 million in stock awards. The decision comes after the bank agreed to pay $185 million to settle allegations that its employees opened millions of accounts without customers' permission to reach aggressive sales targets.
So fallout continuing there.
Yes, it is. Well, some Lexington police officers took the night off from patrolling the streets to raise money for a good cause.
They waited tables at the Texas Roadhouse in Beaumont as part of the Tip a Cop program. The tips that officers collected will be donated to Special Olympics Kentucky. Lexington police say they're very proud of their partnership.
The awareness for individuals with intellectual disabilities is something that is near and dear to Special Olympics, along with the Lexington Police Department and our support of their programs.
Tip a Cop is one of the annual law enforcement torch run events, which includes a series of relay runs and special events around the world to help Special Olympics.
What a great thing to do.
Good cause.
Well, keep it right here on Mid-Morning. We'll meet a woman who ordered bread and got a lot of it, more than she ever imagined.
Yeah, that story's ahead. Also, a new movie examines the plight of a youngster dealing with bullies.
Already have a few showers, a few rumbles of thunder back toward our west and northwestern zones. Those are rolling on through, but the bulk of the rain still is going to be by the afternoon. We'll have that and the timing coming up next.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Got some showers and thunderstorms rolling across the region. We spoke about it this morning on WKYT this morning, where a small chance of rain before noontime, especially central and north, and that's what we're seeing at this moment is they are moving very quickly. I mean, these are quick hitters. This is a system that's going to bring you not just rain, but gusty rain, okay? You'll have some gusty winds along with these showers as they pass on by. You're getting some pretty heavy downpours. Owington, go just south there on Harmony Road. It's looking pretty wet at this moment. Heading toward you guys in Grant County, that's going to be Corinth here very shortly. Sadieville heads up. It's coming out of the Stamping Ground region, Peaks Mill. Frankfort, you're getting in on the mix, but most of that is going to stay to the north of you for now. Pretty heavy downpour there just north of Shelbyville, heading into northern portions of Franklin County. Heads up for that. These to the south of that will actually affect Lexington, at least get close. Heads up Lawrenceburg, you have one headed your way here in just about 20 minutes or so, and another one just to the north of E-Town that if it continues on the direction it's going, then the path will take it right into Lexington. So we'll be right there around 11 a.m., maybe even noontime, getting clipped here by some of these showers, some of these rumbles of thunder here in Lexington. So the bulk of the rain, I'm not talking about these little isolated showers and storms like we're seeing this morning. I'm talking the bulk of the rain now through 3 p.m. That's going to go for Lexington, BG Parkway, and also head north and westbound. That is your best bet. Once you go into the southern half of the Bluegrass area and down toward the south into Lake Cumberland region, back towards 64, heading toward Moorhead, Mountain Parkway, most of it at least. That's going to be 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. Remember, the bulk of the rain, not a stray shower or storm, the bulk of it, the mass of the rain that's going to be moving through later today. Down toward the southeast, you guys are actually going to have a really nice day. I would say roughly that Laurel County area, Whitley County, roll down Hal Rogers Parkway and back toward the east-southeast of that into the mountainous regions. You guys have a great day in store. I mean, it's not until evening, maybe even off into the night, that you actually see some of this rain sliding on in here. So that is today, and that's what we're going to be dealing with as we head throughout the rest of the afternoon and evening. Now, Thursday, you'll still have a couple of showers. Friday, still a couple of showers. Looks like Saturday, still some, at least the first half of the day. Right now, the timing is get it on out of here Saturday afternoon and evening. We'll see how that works out. Still 4 days out.
Sounds like a plan if it works, right?
If it works, we'll see.
Well, a California woman got a big surprise after she ordered some food from Domino's this weekend.
Did she ever? The woman thought that she was getting breadsticks. Instead, she found nearly $5,000 stuffed inside a box. The pizza box there was later revealed to be the restaurant's misplaced deposit money. The woman held on to the loot until she could get hold of Domino's corporate office, and her honesty has earned her a treasure of her own, a paid week of vacation, and free pizza for the whole year. So what about that?
An honest woman. If it were just that easy, order up some bread.
Exactly.
Pretty amazing story.
That's touched off these what would you do kind of conversations, you know.
Yeah, and it's interesting to think about that. Well, a sneak peek at Denzel Washington in a powerful drama. Also, how to get front row for Justin Timberlake.
Suzanne Marquez has your eye on entertainment.
Netflix has the best seat in the house for Justin Timberlake and the Tennessee Kids. The concert film will be available for streaming in October. It goes behind the scenes in Las Vegas for the final show of Timberlake's world tour. Here in Hollywood, the stars are out for the premiere of a new movie about the drama of family life. Milton's Secret is about a 12-year-old boy feeling the weight of the world. He's bullied at school and stressed at home, where his parents have marital and financial troubles.
Are we gonna lose the house?
Can we just go one day without you asking me that?
When his grandfather arrives, he brings a new perspective on life.
I've gotten beat up in school, I've gotten picked on, you know, but I swear, you know, these kids today, they got it a lot harder.
Milton's Secret arrives in theaters Friday. And we're getting our first look at Denzel Washington and Viola Davis in the upcoming drama Fences. The film is adapted from the play about a retired baseball player and his family in the 1950s.
It's not easy for me to admit that I've been standing in the same place for 18 years. Well, I've been standing with you.
Fences arrives in theaters Christmas Day. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, coming right up, it's a smash musical comedy that will have you singing praises.
Sister Act is coming to Lafayette High School. A preview next on WKYT.
Tonight's Powerball jackpot, $60 million, and Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $30 million. Welcome back. So good to have you with us on Mid-Morning on WKYT. A popular and well-loved musical comedy has left Broadway crowds singing praises as it takes center stage in Lexington.
Lafayette High School presents Sister Act. We're happy to be joined by Savannah Cooper and Alexandra Simpson. Welcome. Glad to have you in today.
Thank you. We're so excited to be here.
Well, and you're excited to hit that stage because Sister Act is such a loved production. Tell us what you enjoy about it most.
Oh, it is so much fun. The show, if you see it, there's going to be sassy nuns and nuns who are kind of have this New Jersey accents and altar boys and henchmen. It's just like a really fun cast of characters with great music by Alan Menken, so you're going to love it.
Savannah, it has to be fun preparing for this.
Yes, we have put in so much hard work, and I'm really proud of the way things are turning out. It's been such a fun experience.
I mean, it's a large cast, right? How many people in total are out there in the production, would you guess?
40?
Around 40.
Maybe, and we have an orchestra and lots of tech people. We've all just tried to come together. We've only had 5.5 weeks to get this together.
Yeah. Well, that's right. It seems like school just started. Did you start from the very beginning of the school year?
We actually had auditions like 2 days after school started.
Yeah. Wow. That's really great.
Tell us a little bit about your individual characters.
I play Dolores, the girl who kind of gets caught up in some trouble, and I won't give anything away, but I end up at a convent, so you'll see how I bring my sassiness into play there.
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of sassiness.
Yes.
What about you?
I play Sister Mary Robert, and Sister Mary Robert is very shy and reserved at first, but with the help of Dolores, you get to see her transition over the show as she learns how to let go and have some fun.
Yeah. Hey, tell us, when you're performing in a show like this, is it a little different? I mean, you have to think about it a little differently when you're on stage in terms of what people, may have as their preconceived notions about what ought to be going on.
Well, we don't want to recreate Whoopi Goldberg and the movie or Raven Simone in the Broadway cast version, so it's really fun to put our own spin on it and really take our own take on the music.
Have a little creative license, right?
I would think that it's probably a noisy audience you're performing in front of, too, because they have to react to the funny lines and everything.
It is very funny, so there are lots of laughs throughout the show.
Sometimes I guess it's hard to hear your cue, maybe if the audience is really going at it there. All right, September 29th to October 1st, so it's coming up this very weekend at Lafayette High School, 7 o'clock Thursday, 1 o'clock Thursday, and Friday. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Tickets still available, right?
Yes, online or at the door.
Okay.
All right,
Appreciate
good opportunities. Thank you.
Thank
Have fun
you.
with it.
Thank you.
Well, keep it right here this mid-morning on WKYT.
We'll check in with the Mr. Food Test Kitchen next, right here. See what's cooking up today.
You can celebrate Oktoberfest by sitting down to a meal with an authentic old world taste.
Today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, it offers up Oktoberfest patties.
If you've been hearing a lot about Oktoberfest and you're a bit confused, since it's not even October yet, you're not alone. You see, Oktoberfest officially kicks off in Germany in mid-September and runs for about 3 weeks. Here in the States, we tend to celebrate it all throughout the month of October. So to get things started, I thought it'd be fun to make a German classic, as well as to dress the part. We start off by combining ground beef and pork with some caraway seeds, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. After it's mixed, we form it into oval patties, then coat them with some breadcrumbs before sautéing them until they're cooked through. Once they are, we take them out of the pan and add in some mushrooms and brown gravy. While this simmers, you can heat up some spatzel and red cabbage to round out the meal. Come dinner time, simply smother the patties with the mushroom gravy and dig in, 'cause each bite will make you feel like you're at Oktoberfest. To get the recipe for our Oktoberfest patties, All you have to do is go online now. It's that easy. I'm Howard with Fraulein Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fun and festive way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Delicious?
I was looking, you asked me what was the food. I said, I was looking at the costume.
You kept going, look at him, look at him.
They look pretty good.
Wear that. You could pull it off.
Right.
I don't know if I could, but we'll see. Okay, let's look outside. We do have some showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder. You go into really the northern zones and northwestern zones. That's where we're seeing some of those showers. I do want to say this, that this isn't your bulk of the rain. It's just a few showers, few rumbles of thunder. You'll have some gusty winds. There is a possibility of some small hail falling out of these, so watch out for that. But also, you got to look just south of that, heading up the BG Parkway. These are some stray cells that are going to roll up the BG Parkway. So Lexington, we could be affected by this here in just about, I'd say 30 minutes to an hour, 30, 45 minutes, something like that. So watch out for that. That's the stray stuff, but the bulk still comes later on today. So it really picks up during the afternoon and evening.
Some chilly breezes out there already this morning. You feel that. We want to thank you so much for being with us for WKYT Mid-Morning.
Have a great day, everybody.
See you at noon.